What is going on YouTube? I never thought I'd say it, but I have a system test video here. This system I set up is to kind of mimic the old system I had in my old office building. We had a lab and it had a agent release panel. It was a Firelight FM200 release panel. And then it went to a central general fire alarm panel with, it was a Firelight again, it was a 300 point addressable. Yes, these obviously aren't the same panels because I was thinking about taking them when I left, but you know, can't do that, it's against code. There's a dialer there. I want it for this panel here. I already posted a video on that. I bought that panel. This one here, I work as a journeyman electrician part-time, and we were converting a house. Well, it was a house converted into an office that was being remodeled, and this is the panel they had in it. They really didn't do a good job installing it. They brought the board forward and they tried to run wires behind it. So because of that, they don't have the panel on the front. It has like it labels all the buttons and it kind of protects you from touching those high 120. That's not really high voltage, but the terminal's there. And there's no battery because I don't know if you can see on the battery connector terminals. They literally put phone wire and electrical taped it on there, so it's not good. And I can't really find a battery cable connector online for it, so I'm going to have to, I don't know, just let it be. You can silence it. This is a nice thing about this panel. Pushing that button will silence the trouble, and it won't come on. The controls in this panel, this is to reset the alarm, and this is to disable. The reason why they have disable on this panel is because this panel was released right when the BG12 series was just new. So the BG10 whatever pull stations, I got a whole bunch from that place. Those are the ones that were still in use mostly at the time. I got those pull stations and that horn strobe free because they were just going to get thrown out. I bought that one. Horn strobes. The sloppy wiring is for the agent release. That like kind of clean wire there is for the general fire alarm. And I've got the older mass horn strobe, the square one, is for the agent release, and then the system sensor P4R is for the general alarm. Remote strobe for the agent release, and then another one, and then that one's. They're all of these except that strobe are 4-wire devices. RMS T-bars for the agent release, and I want to get a dialer pad to connect that dialer, or a card. This panel it like puts in cards like the Simplex ones do. I want to get a card and I want to get an annunciator card because that's a 12 volt Ademco, which I think Ademco became Firelight. So yeah. So the way that this works is once you pull that, it will set off the general fire alarm and release will become imminent in 10 seconds. And once release occurs, the horns will sound. And then if you set off the general fire alarm, it won't interfere with this panel. So this panel is kind of like a slave. And I want to get smoke detectors, but I know that they don't really last long, and I don't really feel like buying any. So yeah. So let me set off this one here. Now, once you set off this alarm, you cannot use the abort function on the panel. So just pull this and then reset it. Very loud. The things I have in here is just the resistors for the panel, a key that was with the pull stations, and the keys that came with the panel. So that's reset. I can reset this here. It's out of focus. Let me zoom in. This is what the interface looks like. And put those back. That's just to disable the horns. Yeah, system trouble because of the battery. And I'll reset this one here. Let me just pull this here. That's a fuse for the NAC circuit. I don't want to overload it because it should have a NAC extender, but I don't have one. And yep, so that's just so that fuse will blow before the panel. And that's about it for this system. And thanks for watching.